2 events to go in the Derby class, and then afterwards we'll basically just be getting more money with the events that come afterwards. And I think before we do anything else, we are going to put some more upgrades on this thing, because I figure I may need them. And I am going to start off first and foremost by fitting the clutch and flywheel. And I will also increase speed slightly with strength, and the acceleration, well, increase speed, acceleration and strength with a modified gearbox. And now I will put on the modified manifold, and what else can I do? Oh yeah, the body parts, I can do that. Sure, why not? I think I can squeeze these in, just to make my car a little bit stronger. And I think what we'll do afterwards is, let's see. Yeah, we'll do what we did before. We'll put in the fuel and filter kit, as we did before. I think that should make good on us. Okay, I think that's enough money spent now. So let's go and do the Tarmac Derby Cup, our penultimate event of the Derby class. And then we'll have just one left. So let's begin with the Tarmac Derby Cup, and where if we win we'll get 2200 credits, plus the amount of money we get for wrecking our opponents. As we start with City Central 3. This route takes you amongst narrow residential blocks, through a gigantic mall, and onto the high-speed highway. I think that was alliteration intended. Okay, here we go. You can never have too many upgrades on these cars, and that's also why I did my tuning prior to this, because I figured I might be at a disadvantage if I didn't. And starting on the front row, I think alongside Katie, is it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Katie, who I am starting alongside. Okay. And already she's giving me a bump. I think I should have a good top speed, especially since the fuel filter thing has given me an increase in top speed as I run wide at the end of the highway there. We're through the mall, and I was not supposed to hit that. And I got slammed into by Sally. No real surprises there then. Oh god. That did not work out in any way whatsoever. That was completely arbitrary to what I was wanting. But at least we're running on tarmac. And I can at least say speed is not a problem from the splitter. However, what is the problem is pretty much the driver and the amount of mistakes he's making right now, and really wants to stop making. as we head through the mall once again. I'm not going to hit that statue again as I did before, because that'll cost me greatly. And there is contact up front as I move Jason into the wall. Katie leads, however I am about to take the lead, and I am going to stay on the tarmac this time, and I get doubly fucked by the car that was just in the middle there. However, we still have another race to go. Sorry, we still have another lap to go. And I get a power hit on Katie. Nice. Let's go. As we're now on to the final lap here at City Central 3, is it? Yeah, it's City Central 3. I'm pretty sure it is. I do have the superior top speed down this straightaway, and on the brakes early, making sure I don't lock up the front brakes. And Katie's a little slow there. I go round the outside, and I think I benefited from that. I think I might have the lead, depending on preference. I can just hold on to it long enough, then there should be enough room for me to squeeze by. Hopefully. Oh, I think she's gone now. I don't know what happened to her, but she is definitely away from where she was before. And just as I hit the median, I do manage to get away with it by immediately resetting. And in spite of that mistake she made, she only finished in 5th. And I clearly set the fastest lap of this race. I also set a new lap record because of my top speed advantage. In spite of my early mistakes, I came back to win where it mattered most, and Katie basically fumbled where it mattered most. So, a 1.5 second margin of victory over Sophia. Ray finished 3rd, Frank 4th, Katie 5th, Jack finished 6th, then Jason 7th, and it was Sally who finished 8th and last. And margin of victory in the end was 1.55 seconds between me and Sophia, who is starting to feel more and more like she'll pretty much be my main rival for a lot of these championships we seem to be doing. It would also be nice if I could actually get a clean sweep. I know that's probably not going to happen, but a clean sweep would be nice every once in a while. So we got 2 slams and 1 power hit. That's pretty good. And bonus credits for the fastest lap, which is nice. Frank gets 2 rewards, and Jason gets the other reward. So that was race 1. Now let's move on to race 2. We are also racing on tarmac, so I don't think we should have too many problems here, as we are now at Water Canal 2, the longest canal route. This includes a drive-through, parking hall, freight containers, and a series of railroad structures. At least I managed to come away with this with 1 dub. Now we just have to wait and see if we can get one of the other 2. Right, okay. Let's try race 2 again, shall we? Because whilst I was recording the replay and feeling gleeful, I basically got paid back in the most painful way imaginable. And what I mean by that is, well, whilst I was recording the replay for my clickbait shots, the game crashed. and now I have to do race 2 again. Although thankfully, at least with the game auto-saving, I don't have to do race 1 again, which is a good thing. Anyway, those are your standings. Now let's move on to race 2 at Water Canal 2 for attempt 2. Ha 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 ha. The longest canal route. This includes a drive-through, parking hall, freight containers, and a series of railroad structures. Also, something else I actually learned from doing this before is that DNFs are possible. I think it was both Ray and Sophia who got the respective DNFs. In other words, they were basically racked out of the race on the 3rd lap, and I can assure you that will be far from the last time I see that. And that did not work in any way whatsoever. And avoiding an accident there that was probably going to happen. As I slam into Jack, and I think Katie was also involved in that incident. And Jack is trying to give me payback. I honestly don't blame him. As we head through the warehouse, and I get a power hit on Katie. And I also get a slam with the super flip. So already getting my dosh early on. Because we do get rewarded with these things, after all. And I get slammed from behind by Jason. And I give... No wait, I don't think that was Jason who slammed me. But anyway, yeah. On the previous attempt, I actually found out what happens if the AI get too much damage. And that basically means what they technically get is a DNF. We had 2 retirements in the end of the first attempt when I did this. Yeah, that's definitely a car wash. With the way those sweepers are shaped. And that did not go the way I was wanting it to. I think the car was wiggling a little too much there for my taste. Anyway. Feel the speed! The speed! Hi, Katie. Bye, Katie. Hey, Jack. Bye, Jack. As I set a new lap record. I was pretty sure I just sent Jack into the Armco there. I definitely gave him a straight shot into the Armco there. I was pretty sure that was what happened there. But either way, I am still keeping myself in the race lead. So here's to hoping it stays that way. Okay. It's alright, we're fine. We're still running good. We've not made any cataclysmic errors. At least not yet, anyway. Okay, I think I can afford to breathe now. I should have enough to get to the end of this without having my heart crushed again. Although I will have to make sure I set a limit on the replay time Final corner, and I hit something right at the end. I don't think it's going to be enough to stop me from winning, though. But anyway, there we go. This time with everyone finishing. So Jason gets P2, Sophia P3, Katie P4, Frank gets P5, with Sally in P6, Ray P7, and Jack finishes P8. So I'm going to make sure this time I set my limit on the replay recording. I'm still recording my replay here regardless because, well, this is probably one of my best tracks in the game, judging by how well I have run here. I do have a fair share of wins on the board here, so it's understandable as to why I would choose this to be my it's understandable to see why I would choose this to be my replay recording place. And yes, I know some of you will complain to me about the quality sucking compared to the PC version, but in all honesty, it's still the same game, and as long as you like the game, then that's all that really matters. I know in some cases it might be archaic, but right now, until I actually manage to afford another capture card, which probably won't be for at least another 6 months or so. Okay. Just to avoid disaster again, I stop the replay right before we get to the end of lap 2, because that is where the game crashed before. Although thankfully, it is good to know that we don't have to do the previous races we did before again. So we got 5 slams, 1 power hit, and 2 super flips in the end of that, amounting to 1100 credits. And I also got the bulldozer award, as Frank got the fastest lap, Ray got the Blastmaster, and Frank also got the best racker. Okay, so it's a 6-point swing to me over Sophia. Jason is now up to 3rd, as we've got 2 ties between Katie and Frank, and the other one being between Jack and Sally. Okay. Now we move on to City Central 2. Race takes place amongst construction sites, truck terminals, and highways built amid the city. Here's to hoping this time the game does not crash on me like it did before. I have also learned that DNFs do happen in this game. Unfortunately, you weren't able to see it, because the game crashed whilst I was recording the previous race's replay. I got 2 power hits on Sophia. Well, it's still giving me extra credits, so that's one thing I am at least glad to have received. As I now close in on Jack, I cut the corner, and that's a wall. Okay. Got some wide open lines there, as I hit a lamppost, but I also get the slam on Jack. It is clear that this is very much the shortcut you have to take in order to win this, because it's just such a beneficiary asset. And you also have to make sure that you don't slam the walls all the goddamn time, which at this time is what I am finding all sorts of ways to do. I am not leaving without my clean sweep. I actually want this clean sweep. I don't want this to be another event where I did not get it. I want this event to actually be my clean sweep, without any doubts. So, cannot hit those lampposts with those black and white protective barriers on them. I think those are pillars. Anyway, I set a new lap record of 55.39. And my top speed in this car is now 131. So, if there was a top speed award, then I think I would have probably got it in every race. Although, then again, that's not exactly a thing in this game, but it's fine. I still love this game regardless of whether there are certain features this game has or doesn't. Fuck you, Jason. You are not stopping me from winning this. Come on, make it, make it, make it, make it, make it, make it! Okay, one more lap. I forgot this was a 4-lapper, not a 3-lapper. I really thought for sure that was the end. I must have just overreacted. Either that or it could just be a memory lapse, that's also possible. Damn it. Great. Now I have to reclaim the lead again. That is something I will do, because I take the shortcut. I'm gonna lift off the throttle so I don't scrape the wall this time. I managed to keep all 4 wheels on the road. Can I make it? Okay, we made it. That was pretty tense, but I did manage to make it in the end. And I think KT scored P3 over Jason, if I'm not mistaken. And my best lap in the end of that was a 55.59. Meanwhile, Frank had the fastest lap with a 54.79. Anyway. Took me just over 4 minutes to finish that race, even though it probably took me a few more attempts to actually get the finishing attempt. So, Sophia takes 2nd, Katie 3rd, Jason 4th, Frank 5th, Ray finishes 6th ahead of Jack, who led the early stages of that race, and it was Sally who finished in last. Already got my replay recorded, so let's move on to the points. Excuse me. And see how we did. But I am pretty sure we got the clean sweep, which is pretty much what I wanted because, well, my car was clearly the fastest. So we got 1 slam in the end of that and 2 power hits. And in the end of that I got the bulldozer reward. So Katie got the best wrecker award and also got the Blastmaster award. Meanwhile Frank got the fastest lap award. Cool and good. And there is your results. So, a hat-trick of wins to me as I score the perfect 30. Then Sophia takes home second with her 2 seconds and a third. Okay, let me start over. So it's a clean sweep to me with 30 points. Sophia takes second with the near clean sweep of seconds with 22. Katie finished third in that race, so she gets the tiebreaker over Jason because she scored more, because she scored better results. Jason 4th, Frank 5th, Ray finished in 6th after finishing 3rd in the first race, and then it was Jack in 7th, and Sally finished 8th and last once again with just 5 points. Another 2200 credits to me, and also a clean sweep of golds, which is what I wanted. And now we have unlocked Derby Bowl 2. Nice. And now we just have one more Derby class event to go. And that is a 6-race championship with the Special Derby Forest Cup. And then afterwards we'll pretty much be getting on with each of our special events. So, the Special Derby Forest Cup is up next.
You love the run,